Hi, welcome to the fourth lesson of this tutorial. On this session, you're going to learn about all the essential tools that you need to use. You're going to learn how to set up these tools and what all of these are actually used for. As you can see right here, we have a list of things that we are going to cover on this lesson. We are going to cover Google Search Console, Sitemap, Robot.txt file, and Google Analytics. Now, all of these are very essential tools, and the good part of it is that everything here is actually free to set up. Now, the first thing we are going to look at is Google Search Console. Now, you may want to know what exactly is Google Search Console. So, as you can see right here, you can see that Google Search Console is a web service by Google, which allowed webmaster to check indexing status, search queries, crawling errors, and optimize visibility of their website until 20 May 2015. The service was called Google Webmaster Tool. So whenever you heard the terms Google Webmaster Tool and Google Search Console, they actually mean the same thing. All right. So how can you set this up for your website, and what exactly does this looks like? Now I'm going to take you to one of the Google Search Console dashboard for one of my website just to show you how Google Search Console actually looks like, and then we are going to go ahead and set up a new one. I'm going to get you through the steps on how to set up a new one for your website. All right. So let's get over here. I'm simply going to come over here and I'm going to search for Google. I'm going to type Google Search Console. All right. This is how you log into your Google Search Console. Just come over to Google and search for Google Search Console. Then click on the first result you have right there and click on Start Now. All right. Once you've done this, you should be able to land on this page. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to use a separate Chrome profile like this one right here. This is actually a separate Chrome profile. That means that this particular email address is not signed into any Google Search Console account. So I'm going to start from scratch to sign into Google Search Console. Now, as you can see, if you use an email address that is not linked to any Google Search Console account, like for you who is actually maybe just starting out, who doesn't have a Google Search Console profile already, this is how it's going to look. This is how the screen is going to look for you. All right, so you're going to see two options right here. The first one is domain, and the second one there is URL prefix. Now, as you can see, there is advantages and disadvantages for all of this. As you can see, let me explain something right here. You are supposed to verify property. That is what this means right here. As you can see, to start, select a property type. Now, if you verify a domain property, what that means is that you actually have successfully verified all URLs across all subdomains. Example, www, or any other subdomain that you may have on your site. Now, if you also verify domain property, then you've also automatically verified all URLs across both HTTPS and HTTP. All right, and this one actually requires a DNS verification. It means that you have to verify this one via your domain registrar account. Okay, and the other way around, if you verify URL property, all right, if you verify URL property, this actually means that you've successfully verified only URLs under the entered address. So the specific URL address which you've verified is the only thing that you have access to. Okay. At the same time, if you verify URL property, only URLs under specific protocol, for example, HTTPS. So Google Search Console will not track and record HTTP. Okay. Any traffic, any behavior, any how do I put this? Website data that passes through the HTTP protocol will not be tracked if you use the HTTPS URL prefix right here. Okay, at the same time, the advantage of this one is that you have multiple verification options. So with URL prefix, you can actually verify it in different ways. Now, there is one disadvantage and one advantage right here that is not listed here. Now, let me explain. In terms of SEO, all right, there is something called disavow backlinks. All right, this is going to be a very quick one, and you can make further research on this to understand better. If your website gets a lot of spammy links from people, other websites, like if someone is trying to send some real spammy link to your site, or if accidentally your site ends up acquiring a lot of spammy backlink and you want to reject, that's what disavow means. You want to tell Google that you do not have anything to do with all those spammy backlinks. Okay, as we proceed further, you're going to understand what backlink is. But let me give you a little preview. Backlink is like a vote. It's like when another website links to your own website, search engine believes it is a vote. That other website is telling search engine that it recommends, it trusts your website. It kind of gives your website more power, more authority when a lot of other websites actually links to your website. Now, at the other way around, if website that looks like some spammy, scam, shitty website actually links to your website, it is going to reduce your overall website reputation. Now, what you can do is to tell Google that you do not have anything to do with those backlinks. You can disavow them. That's what disavow backlink means. You can reject them. You can deny them. Okay. Now, for you to actually disavow this backlink, this feature is only available on the URL prefix property. All right. So if you verified your this thing via domain property, then as of today, as of the time of making this video, that feature is not available for a domain. It's not available for domain property. It's only available for URL prefix property. So for now, we are going to verify URL prefix property. All right. So all you need to do is to input a URL right here. For me, I'm actually just going to copy this link and I'm going to paste it right here. All right. So I'm going to click continue and it's checking for verification. All right. Let's wait for this to come up. Okay, as you can see, right here I have different options. I have a few options here on what to do. I have the options of verifying using a file. I have the options of verifying using an HTML tag, Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager. Now I'm going to use this HTML tag because it's like the easiest thing to do. So I'm just going to copy this code and I'm going to paste this code on the header, like the header section of my website. So let me get to my website and paste the code that I have just copied right now. All right. So what I actually need to do is to come over to my website. I've already logged into my website. I believe you still have an idea how to log into your website like we explained on the previous session. So you need to log into your website and find a plugin called insert header and footer. Now, don't mind the screen you've seen recently. That's because I already have this plugin right there, but I'm still going to show you what this plugin looks like. So I'm going to type here header and footer. All right, that's the plugin you need. Now, as you can see, this is the plugin I'm currently using. It's called WP Code. Insert headers and footer plus custom code snippet in WordPress Code Manager. All right, so once you've come over here, you're supposed to install and then activate. As you can see, mine is already active, so I do not need to do anything there again. Now, once you've done that, the next thing you're going to see is this. You're going to see this on your dashboard. So you're going to come over here. Remember, you must install the plugin to be able to see this. Once you've seen this, come over here and click on header and footer. All right. Now, once you've clicked header and footer, remember that we copied the code. I already have the code on my clipboard because I copied it. Yeah, I click right here. That's how I copied the code. And I'm going to paste that code in the header of my website. Okay. So as you can see right here, this is the header of my site. everything inside here, every data inside here is actually data in the header of the site. So all I need to do is to just add this. I'm not going to add this inside the script. Okay, there is a closing script here. So I'm simply going to come over here and paste the code. As you can see, I've pasted the code right there, and I'm going to save changes. All right, let's wait for this to complete. I've successfully saved the changes. Now I'm going to come back here and click on done. I'm going to click on verified. All right, I'm going to tell them I'm done. I'm done pasting the code. Ownership verified. I can now do what? Go to property. That's how fast and easy it is. All right, that's how fast and easy it is. So once you've done that, you're going to land on a screen that looks like this. And once you get to the screen, the next thing you need to consider is to set up your sitemap and review your Robot.txt file. After that, we can proceed to set up Google Analytics. Now, I'm going to explain the difference between Google Search Console and Analytics. Although they are both Google tools, they serve quite similar purpose. Both of them track your website traffic. But the main difference is that Google Search Console tracks your website traffic from Google, only from search engine, while Google Analytics tracks your website traffic from everywhere else on the internet. All right, that's what you really need to know. That's like the major differences. So you cannot do with Google Search Console alone. You're going to need Google Analytics because at the end of the day, we will be getting a lot of traffic from other sources. All right. Before I go ahead and talk about how to set up sitemap, what exactly is sitemap? Let me explain. Sitemap is what I would call the structure of your site. All right. It's like a piece of document that tells Google how to actually crawl your website, which page it should crawl, which page is the parent, which page is the sub. It's like an hierarchy. All right. It's like an hierarchy that interlinks your pages. And it's very important. Like it's very, very important because that's what Googlebot normally crawls. And once it does that, you have a higher chance of having your page on the search engine result page. All right. So for you to be able to play with your sitemap, one of the things you would need, very important, one of the things you would need is your Yoast SEO plugin. All right, so I already have a Yoast SEO plugin right here. So I'm just going to show you how to use this and what to do with your sitemap. So we're going to click on settings. Under Yoast SEO, we're going to click on settings. Okay. Remember that we've previously installed Yoast SEO. If you haven't watched those sessions, please go back to the previous session and watch this. Okay, so we've arrived on our Yoast SEO dashboard. We're going to skip all of this. All right, I've seen this one so many times. When you set up your own, right, you can take your time and watch this video one by one to see what Yoast is trying to say. That's like a simple guide on how to actually use Yoast. It explains a lot of things, so it's advisable if it's your first time to take your time and watch that video, right? So once you get over here, I believe you still remember how we got here. We have our Yoast SEO dashboard here, and then we have settings. So I clicked on settings, please do not forget. And then somewhere along the line, I'm going to see sitemaps, XML sitemap. Now what you need to do is to click on view the XML sitemap. Once you view the XML sitemap, what you're supposed to do is to copy the URL of the sitemap and submit it to search engine. Now, as you can see, this is what we have right here. All right, so I'm going to copy the main URL from here to show you the parent URL of the sitemap. So this is it. This is actually the website I'm using to explain this. And after you have your domain extension, you have slash, then you have sitemap underscore index.xml. The moment you visit this, I'm going to click to visit this. That's when you land here. So what you need to do is to submit the parent URL, okay? The one that you need to click to learn on those other pages. Now the question is, how can you submit this parent URL? You get back to your Google Search Console dashboard, and then you click on Sitemaps. I think I've already had some sitemaps submitted for this property. Since this site is not actually a new, it's not actually a new site. Okay. Now, what you need to do here is to simply paste the sitemap here, as you can see, and then click on submit. As you can see, sitemap submitted successfully. Very important. Now, Google will periodically process it and look for changes. You will be notified if anything goes wrong with it. So now that we've successfully submitted sitemap, the next thing we need to look at is the robot.txt file. What exactly is the robot.txt file, and how can it be of use to us? Now, robot.txt file is actually very important. It's like a set of instructions that tell Google what to do and what not to do. If your robot.txt file tells Google never to crawl your site, then your website may never appear on the search engine. And if your robot.txt file tell Google not to crawl a specific page, then Google will respect it and not crawl that specific page. So what exactly is robot.txt file? Robot.txt file is an instruction that tells digital robot, online bot. All right, Google has a bot, but not only Google. Bing search engine also have a bot. A lot of other platforms also have a bot, and each of these bots serve different purposes. All right, so robot.txt file is what directs those bots how they should crawl your site, which page they should not crawl, which page they should not try to access. And also, for Google search engine, robot.txt file can actually tell Google not to crawl your login page. Imagine if you have your website and then the login pages of your website is all over Google. It does not make sense. Or maybe you have a page that contains some confidential information and you do not want to publish those page publicly. Then you can use robot.txt file to tell search engine not to crawl that page. You can tell search engine not to crawl that page. So let me explain how you can use these powerful tools and how you can set it up for your own website. All right, so the first thing you need to do is to really take a look at how it works and really get to understand what it entails. All right, I think I have some pictures here. I'm going to show you some of these pictures as explanation before we go ahead to explain this. So take a look at this. User agent. This user agent means name of the bot. Now you have Google bot news. This is the bot responsible for Google News. All right, it goes around crawl website, and then if it matches some certain criteria, your website is going to appear on Google News as long as you sign up for it though. So user agent Google News. Now you can see this allowed. This allowed means Google bot should not crawl all the pages that has been disallowed. Every other pages that is not listed here will be crawled. That's what you should know. User agent Googlebot. Googlebot should not do what? Should not crawl these pages. Now, the website name could be theverge.com. The Verge does not want Googlebot to crawl any of these directories on their site. That's the first thing you should take note. We are going to actually apply this practically on our website. Now, the next thing you have here is user agent star. Star means all bots, like all of the bots on the internet, none of them should crawl this page. None of them should crawl this page. And then the Verge have listed all their sitemap locations in their robot.txt file. This is to tell Google, these are the sitemaps I want you to do or to prioritize. Now, every other page that is not here, the first and the second thing, all bots are going to crawl them. You get. So that's what you should really get to know. Now that you understand quite a bit about robot.txt file, I'm going to take you to where we can actually set it up for our own website. And we are still going to use Yoast SEO. All right. That's why Yoast SEO is a powerful tool. All right. Now, under Yoast SEO, once you get to where you have your Yoast SEO right here, you need to click on tools. Once you click on tools, as you can see, use SEO tools, click on file editor. All right. When you click on file editor, you are going to see your own Robot.txt file. And from there, you can actually edit it. Now, what you really need to have in your Robot.txt file is an instruction telling search engine how to crawl your site. Then you can also have your sitemaps listed there. As you can see, you don't have a robot.txt file. Create one here. So I'm going to click to create one right here. Now, by the way, I think it's advisable that if you are kind of confused in the entire process, all right, if you are kind of confused in the entire process, then I would always recommend that you do not create. If you do not really understand the entire process of doing this, please just avoid creating it, except you really understand what you are doing so that you won't prevent. Because by default, let me explain this. By default, search engines are supposed to crawl your site, please. By default, search engine are supposed to, except maybe you notice that search engine is not crawling your site, then you need to go and check your robot.txt file. But that aside, by default, search engine are supposed to do what? Are supposed to crawl your site. From what I did back there, you can see that I created a robot.txt file and I came back here to see how it looks. As you can see, I have my site map there. Start use blog, user agent. There's allowed, none. All right, so this is not looking bad. All right, this is not looking bad. Edit the contents of. Now, if I want to prevent any specific page from being crawled, you know what I'm supposed to do? I'm just supposed to add slash, then type in the page, for example, contact us, to tell all user agents that none of them should actually crawl my contact us page. All right, but I'm not going to do this. I'm going to just leave it like that. But then what you're supposed to do here, please, this is the most important part of this. You're supposed to disallow robot.txt file from crawling wp-admin. All right. Now, if you have any other page that contains confidential information on your site that you know about, for me, is the login page. I do not want the bot, any of the online bots, Google bots, Yahoo bots, Bing bots, or whichever to actually crawl wp-admin, because that's the login page of the site, please. All right. And then you can specify your sitemap here, but this is actually okay. Once you've done that, you're supposed to just come over here and click on save changes. And with that, we are done with robot.txt file. All right. The next thing you're supposed to look at is how to set up Google Analytics.